Welcome to Amapiano, the sound, the spirit, the movement. I'm your host, Lara, and today we begin this journey right where it all started, in the heart of South Africa. Before Amapiano filled global playlists and dance floors, it was the soundtrack of everyday life in the townships. To help us understand where this incredible sound came from, I'm joined by Dr. Amahle Ndlovu, cultural researcher and African music historian. Amahle, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lara. It's a joy to be part of this conversation. When we talk about Amapiano, we're talking about more than music. We're talking about a generation's identity. It all began in the early 2000s in Gauteng province, especially around Pretoria and Johannesburg. Young producers and DJs started blending deep house, jazz, and kwaito, a slower, groovier form of house that had already shaped South Africa's sound in the 1990s. But what made Amapiano unique was the feeling. It carried warmth, soul, and a sense of togetherness.
That's something you can really feel when you listen. It's not just rhythm, it's emotion. Why do you think Amapiano feels so close to home for so many people, even outside Africa?
Because it was born out of community. In the townships, music has always been a form of expression, a way to find joy despite hardship. Amapiano gave young people a voice. They didn't need big studios or record labels, just a laptop, software, and passion. You can hear it in the log drum, that deep, resonant bass that sounds like a heartbeat. It's grounding. It reminds you of movement, of family gatherings, of the streets where life happens. That's why, when people hear it, they feel at home, even if they've never been to South Africa.
That's powerful. It's like the sound carries memories, even for those who didn't live them. And it's amazing how this homegrown sound started spreading far beyond its borders, even before social media pushed it globally.
Exactly. Amapiano was shared through people. DJs exchanging tracks, friends passing USB drives, and small parties turning into cultural moments. It grew quietly, organically, like roots spreading under the soil. By the time the world noticed, it was already a movement with a heartbeat of its own. And what's beautiful is that Amapiano never lost its essence. It still sounds like the people who created it, grounded, hopeful, and proud.
That kind of authentic growth is rare these days. Most genres seem to explode overnight through viral moments. But Amapiano evolves slowly, through word of mouth, shared joy, and community connection.
Yes. And that slow growth allowed it to develop its full identity before commercial pressures arrived. By the time major labels started paying attention, Amapiano already had a solid foundation, built by people, not corporations.
That foundation is what fascinates me most. How a genre can remain authentic while growing global. I recently read that Amapiano streams increased by more than 300% worldwide between 2020 and 2022. Yet it had been massive in South Africa, long before those numbers were even tracked.
That's right. It shows how much of this movement happened under the radar, beyond the traditional music industry's reach. And what's even more exciting is how it's now influencing producers everywhere, from London to Tokyo, who are experimenting with the log drum and those soulful piano layers.
It really raises a question about authenticity. How does Amapiano keep its identity while spreading globally?
That's a crucial point. What we're seeing is a beautiful evolution. The core elements stay intact. The log drum, the soulful vocals, the community spirit. But new producers are adding their own cultural colors. And instead of diluting the sound, it's strengthening it. It's becoming a conversation between cultures rather than a copy.
I love that. A conversation between cultures. And here's a surprising fact. In 2022, Amapiano tracks were being added to global streaming playlists at a rate 40% higher than any other emerging genre, all while staying true to its roots.
Exactly. It's proof that authenticity and global appeal can coexist. Amapiano shows that you don't need to compromise who you are to be heard by the world.
And looking ahead, I think that's one of the most inspiring parts of the story. Young producers everywhere are seeing Amapiano as proof that you don't need major labels or expensive studios to create something meaningful.
Yes, it's reshaping how we think about creativity and access. It's showing that when music comes from real emotion and community connection, it can travel anywhere and still keep its soul.
That's such a powerful thought. It's not just about the music, it's about what it represents. A model for authentic expression that the whole world can learn from.
Exactly. And as we watch this movement continue to grow, it makes me wonder what other sounds in small corners of the world are waiting to be discovered. Sounds born from truth, ready to connect hearts across continents.
Beautifully said, Amahle. In our next episode, we'll step inside the sound itself, exploring the log drum, the rhythm, and the pulse that make Amapiano unforgettable. I'm Lara, Kene, and this was Amapiano, the sound, the spirit, the movement. See you in episode 2.